We've got love and tragedy, a 70s style of dance that hasn't gone away, and we'll tell you what goes best with some fine wine. From the campus of UNLV, this is Front Row Center, and it starts right now. Hey everyone, I'm Honey Love.
And I'm Portia McLaurin.
And today we're going to start the show off with a little bit about romance, tragedy, and relationships that extend even into the underworld.
Rosalie Spear tells us more about the Greek play Eurydice that will be coming to UNLV.
It's almost like the classical myth meets Alice in Wonderland meets Pee Wee Herman.
Eurydice, the classic Greek tale of love, tragedy, and mortality, is coming to UNLV. It will be vastly different from its original telling, which is told through the point of view of Orpheus, Eurydice's husband.
If you can sort of put yourself in her shoes, and if you've ever loved someone or lost someone or longed for something, I think you can really relate to her.
This will be the first time that the story of Eurydice is told through the eyes of a woman.
We see Eurydice being able to make a choice and have a voice in her own destiny instead of it being dictated by the man.
The play also has other contemporary twists, from the character's fashion to the stage props used, and even to how the underworld and living world are portrayed.
The set's going to be fantastic on its own, but it's just a set without the actors. They're really the people that really help make it come together. I'm very excited.
Eurydice was written by Sarah Rule, who is an up-and-coming female playwright in the theater community, which is not very common in America.
I love her voice, and I love what this play is trying to say. As a playwright, her work really speaks to me.
I think Sarah Rule has such a wonderful voice as a playwright and as a woman, and it just is a beautiful play. It's really poetic.
Eurydice will be showing at the Judy Bailey Theater on March 6th through 9th. This play is also a part of the Nevada Conservatory Theater's 10th anniversary celebration.
Come see Eurydice. It is a beautiful, beautiful retelling of a Greek myth, and you'll laugh, and you'll cry, and hopefully you'll leave thinking about some things.
For Front Row Center, I'm Rosalie Spear.
Well, you all know how I love romance, so I will definitely be there. We're fortunate to have with us today the director and an actress from the play. Honey, introduce us to our guests.
Don't worry, Portia, we won't judge you if you cry. I'm sure the director of Eurydice, Laura Gordon, and the actress playing Eurydice, Stephanie Resnick, won't judge you either. They're here with us, and right now, how are you ladies doing?
Doing well.
Good, yeah.
So, Laura, tell me about Eurydice. Give me a brief synopsis on what it's about.
Sure. There's a classic Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, and that story basically is about this fabulous musician named Orpheus, and he marries a woman named Eurydice, and on their wedding day, Eurydice dies and goes to the underworld. And Orpheus is so heartbroken about this that he plays the most beautiful music in the world, and the Lord of the Underworld allows him to enter the underworld, and he says that he can take Eurydice back home with him if, when walking out of the underworld, he doesn't look back and see her. If he looks back, then she's doomed to stay there and die a second death. So that's the basic myth, right? And the playwright, Sarah Rule, who's a fabulous American playwright, wrote sort of her take on that. So it's the telling of that story from the woman's point of view, from Eurydice's point of view.
Gotcha. And I think it's always better to have a woman's point of view anyway, especially when you're telling a story.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about you and your acting background.
Well, my acting background, for undergrad, I studied journalism, funny enough, and I ended up moving back to New York, where I'm from, and decided to take up acting because it's something that I've always loved. So I trained for a bit at the Stella Adler studio in New York, and just got most of my learning from being in shows in New York and being little baby parts in the background, watching the amazing equity actors work. And now I'm here in the graduate MFA program for acting, and I get to play this wonderful role directed by an amazing director who's worked a ton.
And Laura, how has it been directing Stephanie?
Oh, it's been great. I've had such a surprisingly wonderful time. Not surprising that I'm shocked that it was great or anything,
right?
But you know, coming to I escaped my Midwest winter by coming out to Vegas for 6 weeks, and have had such a wonderful time working with the students, who, not only the actors, but my entire design team are graduate student designers, and they are fantastic. So being able to work with the students in this way has been a blast.
Nice. And Stephanie, how are you able to connect to this character?
Well, I think most people will be able to connect to her. She's a girl who lost her father, who loves a man, Orpheus, who has lost at some point both of them. So I think just the connection to having loved, having lost, which I think is just a very human thing. It's easy to connect to her in that way. And I also think we have some similarities, maybe because I'm playing her, but she has a lot of light and buoyancy and a lot of curiosity. And so I think that's something that's easy for me to connect to.
Well, let's get a little bit of taste of Eurydice.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So I don't want to give away too much, so maybe I won't even tell you where this is in the play. I'll just
do it.
Just do it. Which camera does she look at, guys? Look at this camera right here.
Okay, great. Orpheus never liked words. He had his music. He would get this funny look on his face, and I would say, "What are you thinking about?" And he would always be thinking about music. If we were in a restaurant, sometimes Orpheus would look sullen and wouldn't talk to me. I thought people felt sorry for me. I should have realized that women envied me. Their husbands talked too much. But I wanted to talk to him about my notions. I was working on a new philosophical system. It involved hats. This is what it is to love an artist. The moon is always rising above your house. The houses of your neighbors look dull and lacking in moonlight. But he is always going away from you. Inside his head, there's always something more beautiful. Orpheus said the mind is a slide ruler. It can fit around anything. Words can mean anything. Show me your body, he said. It only means one thing. That's it.
I love it. And I love how just like that, she snapped right out of it. I love it. So when is this going to start?
Well, we open
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yes, and it's a very short little run here at the university. So it opens tomorrow on Thursday, the 6th of March, and just plays through the weekend.
Well, make sure you check it out. Thank you so much for joining us on the
Absolutely.
show, and that was amazing. Thank you. Up next, we reveal what makes for the perfect combination with wine. No, it's not cheese. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults, and one person dies from melanoma every hour. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hey there, and welcome back. Now, what you've all been waiting for, you'll see that painting is what goes best with a fresh glass of Merlot. Nakaya Berry has the story.
If you want to unleash your inner Picasso and have a few drinks at the same time, Wine and Canvas is the place to be.
Hanging out with my daughter. Her idea to come, my idea to buy the bottle of wine.
It relaxes people, makes them flow better with the painting.
Each event has a different painting with step-by-step instruction.
Doing the top of his body here, these lines on the side.
And I'm not a very good artist, but they make it easy, so it's a lot of fun.
Sometimes people who take the class are like, oh, I don't know if this is going to come out good. I don't have any skills at all. And then when I go see them at the end of class, they're like, this is great. I can't believe I made this.
It's tough to come here and be grumpy. It's really hard.
Wine and paint go good together. Great combination.
A lot of men are very nervous when they first come in. And once they come in and they start painting and they have a beer or two, they're fine and they enjoy it.
There are some events at the Henderson studio and others at restaurant venues throughout the city.
They're excited to be here and it's easy to facilitate that excitement.
I'm actually going to bring my friend probably in a couple weeks to paint with us because it's really fun.
Oh, I've already told people that we were coming and they want to come. So when I tell them about this and the wine choices, hey, we'll be here.
There are different events throughout the month, including date night and cookies and canvas for kids. To attend Wine and Canvas, sign up for a day and pick your painting, then show up to the class and enjoy some cocktails.
They come here, they want to escape their daily routine. It's a place to come to be creatively free.
At the end of the event, you'll be able to take home the work of art that you created. To schedule your next event, visit wineandcanvas.com. For Front Row Center, I'm Nakaya Berry.
Wine and Canvas sessions are always open to new people. If you love wine and art, Wine and Canvas is the place to be. There are a lot of events coming up with music. Honey, will you introduce our next guest?
I'm here with David Weiler, Director of Choral Studies here at UNLV. Hi, David.
Hello, honey. How are you?
I'm very well.
Good.
Okay, so this may seem like a dumb question, but is there a difference between saying choral and choir?
No, there's not really. We talk about choirs as being choral groups or choral ensembles, but it's really the same thing.
Okay, so now that we've clarified that, so tell me what's going on with the choral department?
Lots of things going on with the choral department. We have 4 choirs at the university. We have the University Concert Singers, which is our main choir, open to students throughout the campus. We have the Chamber Chorale, which is a small advanced group of singers. They go on tour every year representing the university. We have a varsity men's glee club of about 40 men that sing up a storm. And we have a women's chorus of about 50 women that also sing just beautifully. So we have those 4 groups, lots of concerts, and 4 different concerts in April and May coming up.
So speaking of glee clubs, okay, so since the show Glee started,
Right.
Has there been more students wanting to be in the choral studies department?
I don't really see a connection between that, but we're really lucky that in Clark County, the high schools and middle schools and even the elementary schools all have great choirs. So we get a lot of Clark County students coming to UNLV who either want to participate in our choirs as non-music majors, or many of them as music majors, and then they're required to be in one of the choral groups.
And if, you know, I'm just saying, I have a little bit of singing voice and singing abilities. So if I wanted to get into choir, what would I need to do?
Sure, it's very easy. We do auditions for the choirs every year the week before school starts, and students just come over to my office, sign up for a time, and they come into my office and sing a little bit. And we try to find a choir for every person that wants to be involved in something.
Now, you told me that you've been here for 30 years now.
Yes, I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. Congratulations.
But, thanks. I'm starting this is my 30th year of teaching at UNLV.
And how has it been?
It's been a journey. It's been a real exciting experience. I love teaching as much as ever. And I really enjoy working with my students and the faculty. It's just been great.
Now, how has things changed from when you started as far as how music is now and from back then to now?
Yeah, well, the whole university has changed. You know, when I came to UNLV, there were about 11,000 students, and our music department had about, I think, 13 faculty. Now we have close to 40 faculty. And of course, the university is so much larger. So the whole spirit of the university is different. The talent level is higher probably than it's ever been. Music is certainly always changing. And the choral art itself is changing. We know more how to make choirs sound good than we did 30 years ago. So I've had to keep up with the times, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
So what productions do you have coming up?
We've got concerts in April, and I'm not even sure I remember all of the dates. We have a concert on April 12th that will feature all 4 of the choirs. There's another concert, I think, on April 23rd, another one on the 27th, and another one on May 2nd. And you can go to the UNLV Music Department website, and there's a list of all of our events. Our music department is fantastic, and there's some sort of concert going on almost every night of the week.
Well, thank you, David, for joining us.
Thank you.
And make sure you check out the choral department here at UNLV. Up for some crazy magic tricks and break dancing? Then stick around. Front Row Center will be right back.
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The Action Team.
Are you in? Action Team! Action! Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Have you ever wondered how the street performers on Fremont Street have gotten to be where they are? Reporter Mateo Holly gives us an inside look into one pretty well-known magician on Fremont.
The city of Las Vegas is a hub of entertainment, but every superstar needs to start somewhere. Street magician Jacob Jacks has been working on the streets in front of the Bally's Hotel for several years. He has taken some difficult steps in order to practice his craft.
I eventually stopped going to school and started street performing full-time, which has led to other shows, and it's the greatest job in the world.
Jacob Jacks went against all social norms and pursued a difficult career. He didn't just dive headfirst, he made sure to consult experts.
Lance Burton, who's a magician here for 30 years, one of my heroes, said it doesn't matter where you're doing shows, if you're doing them in old folks' homes, if you're doing them in libraries for free, on the street, you just have to get in front of people. It's the only way to get good.
Thursday through Sunday, Jacob is out in front of Bally's entertaining any and every person that happens to walk by. He only has 5 minutes of material, but he makes the most out of what he has.
The way he kept the crowd entertained and just involved in the show itself, he is very impressive, and he's very comical as well.
I just want to be doing good shows. So if I only ever end up performing on the street, doing shows all day, every day for happy crowds that say nice things to me afterwards, I'm totally happy. I'd love to be doing a show in a theater where it's heated and people pay to come see you, because there's more stuff you can do indoors that you can't do on the street. But my goal isn't really a specific location or venue, it's just the quality of the show.
He is constantly thinking of new ways to deliver material. He is always critical of what he's doing to make a good show.
A lot of guys that you will talk to that are magicians here in Vegas go, I really want to have a big Vegas show up in lights, and that'd be nice. I probably wouldn't say no if they offered that to me. So anywhere I can perform, I'm happy.
From Front Row Center, I'm Mateo Holly.
Wow, that card trick at the end was crazy. I wonder how he did that. You never know what you're going to see right here in Las Vegas. We've got another performance for you right here in the studio. Please welcome Kylan Hatton, rhymes with Island. Hi, Kylan.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. That's a very unusual name. Who came up with that name?
My mother.
And where did it come from? Just something she made up?
She was just thinking different, I guess.
So, Kylan, when did you start breakdancing?
I started when I was about 15. I'm 22 now.
Wow, and what got you into breakdancing?
My neighbors just seen them doing it, and I asked, and here I am now.
Now, I hear a little rumor going around that you may be touring with Cirque du Soleil. Tell me a little bit about that.
I auditioned for it a couple of days ago. Just didn't work out, but there's always opportunities for the future.
Oh, so you didn't get it. But I'm sure you're destined for bigger and better things.
Yes, yes.
So what particular style of breakdancing do you do?
I do power moves.
What is that?
It's the more flashier moves and all that. Yeah.
How often do you train?
We train about every day from 8 to 12.
All right, well, let's see what you got. Okay. One more move. There you have it, everyone. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of this guy right here. That was awesome. After the break, we'll let you know what you can do in Vegas this week. We'll be right back, so don't go anywhere.
When doctors told me I would never walk again, somehow I knew I would. Whether you need support in a tragedy or just to make it through a bad day, prayer can make a difference. America, let's come together by believing with each other.
Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
And time now for our list of weekly upcoming events. If you like classical music and compositions, then you don't want to miss Maren Quambeck playing the cello for her master's recital. This recital will be held on March 14th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. in the Lee and Thomas Beam Music Center. It will be free and open to the public. Also on March 14th, toddlers, teens, and adults come out for some family fun and swimming from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. Family Swim Night occurs only once a month and will continue through May. Don't miss out on some family friendly, fun group exercise. The CCSD Middle School Advanced Band Festival will be coming to UNLV on March 18th through March 20th. So come support the music department and cheer on CCSD's younger musicians. The festival will be held in the Artemus Concert Hall from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and will be free and open to the public. Do you love big trucks, racing, and awesome stunts? I know I do. Then check out the Monster Jam World Finals 15 on March 20th through March 22nd. They will be held at the Sam Boyd Stadium and tickets are available at unlvtickets.com. Bring your boyfriend or girlfriend along for date night at the Barrick Museum on March 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. You can tour the garden and galleries and create a work of art together. Date night is held on the third Thursday of every month and admission is free. Earlier, we mentioned CCSD middle school students coming to UNLV to perform. Well, on March 22nd and March 21st, the CCSD High School Advanced Orchestra Festival will be performing at the Artemus Concert Hall as well. Come out and support the music program of CCSD's public schools. Admission to this event is also free and open to the public. And who doesn't want to play with their food and win prizes for it? Well, the International Edible Book Festival encourages people to create edible book themed creations. The event will be held on April 1st, but individuals and teams must register by March 17th. The event will be free and open to the public.
Now that last event sounds like a lot of fun. Edible books.
I know, now we can really eat our words, right?
And hey, how about you and your boyfriend checking out that date night?
Well, when I get one, that'd be great.
Oh, you hear that, gentlemen? Okay. On the next episode of Front Row Center, we reveal even more hidden talents from right here in Las Vegas.
Thanks for watching. See you next time for some tribal dancing and aerial arts. And as always, from the entertainment capital of the world, it's Vegas, baby. And it's right here on Front Row Center.
Good night.